Welcome. I'm Elizabethina's Garden. I'm an Akashic Records reader and remote energy healer. And in today's video, I want to do a focus on the throat chakra. I made an energy healing video with a throat chakra focus earlier this year. You can check that one out. But this video is focused on the other tips I found helpful to heal or unblock the throat chakra and to also examine the root causes of how the throat chakra becomes blocked and what are some practical tips you can do on your own in your daily life. Let's start with the throat chakra. Chakras originate from Hindu and later Buddhist spiritual and medicinal traditions that align with your spinal column, which regulates the flow and energy in the area and corresponding organs. There are 7 major chakras, although there are many other chakras as well. The throat chakra is the 5th chakra or the 5th energy center, and it covers your throat, neck, thyroid, vocal cords, and the ganglion nerve that ties with your neck. Editor Liz here. Quick correction. I don't mean the ganglion nerve cells connect to the neck. What I meant to say is that our throat chakra region contains important nerve clusters like the cervical ganglia. These nerves connect our spinal cord to our head, neck, and upper body, regulating essential functions like heart rate, blood flow, temperature, breathing, and pain signals. They even control things like pupil dilation, blood vessels on the face, sweat, and saliva, and these nerves are an integral part of our throat chakra system. Okay, let's continue. Ears, mouth, and upper lips. Notably, the throat chakra connects the heart chakra to the upper chakras, serving as a bridge and is connected with communication and the ability to express oneself. The throat chakra is associated with the color blue, reflecting the connection to truth and vocal expression. Unsurprisingly, Archangel Michael is associated with the throat chakra with the royal blue color linked to truth and authentic communication, but also with courage and faith, as it takes courage and strength to speak your truth. When the throat chakra is blocked or it is underactive or experiencing energy depletion, it can lead to a fear of speaking up, difficulty expressing feelings, fearfulness and anxiety, and also feeling unheard. Also, it can lead to physical symptoms like sore throat, thyroid issues, mouth ulcers, earache, jaw pain, and the TMJ issues, headaches, dental issues, neck and upper back pain as well as affecting your hearing sometimes. When it is overactive, it can lead to excessive talking without active listening, gossiping, interrupting others, being overly critical of self and others. In general, the goal is to have a balanced energy to achieve clear communication, authentic expression, and good listening skills, and to have creative flow and expression. In Sanskrit, the throat chakra is Vishuddhi, which means filter or purification. And so the spiritual function of the throat chakra is to purify one's thoughts, words, and action, purifying from negative energy or wrong thoughts or wrong emotions. The chakras below are considered earthly, corresponding from the root chakra as earth element, the sacral as water, the solar plexus as fire, and the heart as air. And then when we get to the throat, it is ether or the 5th element for purification and transformation. And above the throat chakra, we have the 3rd eye with element as light and the crown as transcendent light. So you can consider how the heart is a bridge between the upper and lower chakras, but then the throat chakra itself is like the actual gateway part of the cosmic bridge between the spiritual and the material, or in a sense, the point of balancing rational thought with the emotions of our body. What causes throat chakra blockages? Trauma and abusive or unsupportive environments are the general umbrella of the root cause of throat chakra blockage. Every scenario I will mention here is related under this umbrella in some way. To start, we need to acknowledge that genetics play a role in our predisposition for fear, anxiety, and natural coping mechanism. Or if you ascribe to genetics related to ancestral trauma, generational trauma, either way, when we are born, we have a genetic predisposition. But our environment, which we grew up, affects our odds of overcoming them. I've linked a short article from the Mental Health Center of San Diego that details this nature versus nurture, and you can check it out in the description box. But to highlight, the article presents an example of two individuals who have genetic predisposition to mood disorders, nature, right? But in one case, Sarah, she had a supportive family that encouraged open communication and allowed emotional expression, and she avoided developing anxiety, versus David, who had significant life stressors like financial difficulties and relationship problems. If you grew up in a stressful environment like this with chronic stress and anxiety, maybe you have a narcissistic or family member with mood disorders. It can lead to overthinking and anxiety, which can disrupt the energy flow in this region with the constant fear of judgment or rejection. You can see how David's environment will more likely lead to a throat chakra blockage compared to Sarah. Throat chakra blockages may happen more to individuals who may have been physically or verbally abused by a caregiver or authority figure. Alternatively, even watching loved ones arguing, or any frequent arguments with loved ones or friends, or gossip, or being the receiving end of passive aggression, like being ignored or cut off from communication, being silenced or invalidated, or to made feel what you have to say isn't important. These scenarios can cause trauma to be stored in the throat chakra of your body, and it often relates to when one's voice is suppressed, invalidated, or the person was punished for speaking up, or if a child was even forced to keep a secret. This leads to self-silencing behaviors or learned silence as a coping mechanism. Perhaps it was a way to avoid problems with family members, or even a PTSD reaction to avoid punishment. You may have even watched one of your caregivers exhibit difficulty communicating and suppressing their honest opinions, and you end up learning this trait from them. Another scenario is a person could have shared their genuine thoughts and opinion in a social setting and received criticism or ridicule, leaving them to feel suppressed, invisible, or unworthy. Another example is to be told to wait your turn in a classroom or in family, but your turn never came. This fear of judgment from others can lead to overthinking and self-doubt, as well as self-silencing behavior, which can lead to a block. An example of what this looks like will be the behavior of constantly editing text messages before sending, or an act of self-censoring to make your message sound more palatable to the other party. The next one is about dishonesty and inauthenticity. I find this more noticeable in the culture of Tokyo, as an example, compared to where I live now. I was there briefly this month, and I had noticed it again because there is a societal expectation to be very polite, and so in conversations, It's often coated with white lies, innuendos, and exaggerated enthusiasm. And all of this is rooted in politeness or the desire to avoid any conflicts or feelings of discomfort. The side effect is that it is a form of dishonesty, and over time, if you interact like this day in and day out, it can cause the throat chakra blockage. Finally, when you cannot express yourself or have a healthy outlet or environment like a culture, it can lead to these suppressed emotions, whether it is suppression of grief, fear, anger, or even humor. These unprocessed emotions can create energetic blockages. To heal or clear the throat chakra blockages, we also have to strengthen our third chakra, which is the solar plexus, as well as connect through our hearts or our heart chakra. As I listed in the root causes of throat chakra blockage, many of it is related to self-doubt, fears, suppressed communication. Our solar plexus is related to our sense of self-confidence, our willpower, and authenticity. So what we truly need to do is balance the solar plexus, heart, and throat. So first, you have to give yourself self-love, self-acceptance, feeling of self-efficacy, or your belief in your own ability to succeed at specific tasks and handle situations. When you don't express your authentic power and will that is centered from the solar plexus, both suffer. Feelings of overwhelm, powerlessness, self-doubt are the negative polarity or shadow side of the solar plexus. And then when those feelings aren't expressed, released, or purified in the throat, you can see how it creates a vicious cycle or negative loop, and both will be blocked in some ways. These chakras are masculine chakras because it has to do with outward speech and expression, a more masculine or yang trait. And all of our masculine chakras are more active and it radiates outwards. To underscore your solar plexus is your inner fire, your sovereignty, your authentic self of who you are. And your throat chakra is how you express who you are. When strengthened together, they allow authentic, confident self-expression. So my journey, I will keep it very brief, but starting from my grandparents' generation of my paternal side, and this is important to consider because masculine chakras generally, not always, we inherit from our father's lineage. My sister and I witnessed loud family arguments from our grandparents' generation replicated to family dynamics at home where there were vocal aggression. And these are signs of an overactive or imbalanced throat chakra. When you have to raise your voice, this is often due to feelings of not being heard. So you try to overpower the other person with vocal aggression. My parents were very busy when I was little as well, so I also didn't have a lot of opportunities to express myself at home, which led to me being very loquacious, aka very chatty at school or with friends. And this was a comment I would get on my report card, very chatty, talkative. As the youngest person in my family unit, my insight and input was also not valued. It's a common parenting philosophy. You get what you get and you don't get upset. That's the end of the story. Then there was my past life where I was writing these secret texts that had information disagreeing with the Holy Roman Empire that was ruling at the time during the Inquisition. So I did express myself, but I did not express myself vocally in that sense. Everything was done with writing, secretively. So in my current incarnation, my generation being an elder millennial, when we were kids, we did use the landlines and have long phone calls hanging out on the phone until someone else needed to use the phone. But once text messaging and instant messaging and emailing came, it became a general preference of my generation to use texting and emails for communication instead of calling and using our vocal cords. So here are my practical tips outside of inner child healing, psychotherapy, energy healing, all of which I highly recommend to try to gradually open up and heal both the solar plexus and the throat chakra. I have a few practical tips here for you, a few that may surprise you. A quick disclaimer, everything shared in this video about throat chakra healing is meant to support your overall wellness journey, not replace medical care. I'm not a doctor, and these are practices that are complementary approaches to your well-being. If you're dealing with any health issues, especially thyroid problems, chronic throat pain, or other physical symptoms, please do check in with your healthcare provider. And this information is for educational purposes and intended to inspire your spiritual practice. Number 1, use voice memos or use the voice memo function to talk to your friends and family instead of typing or texting. Hear me out. When you are recording, you cannot easily rehearse or self-censor. You are also activating the vocal vibrations, and it helps not only to move around the organs and liquids of your throat and this whole area, including listening to yourself and hearing your own voice. You are practicing sharing your thoughts more authentically or directly. The more you use your voice, the easier it will be and the more confident you will become. All the modern chat apps have a voice recording function, and you should not be afraid to use it. I started using voice messages with my friends this year, and I have to say that it has helped me strengthen and heal my throat chakra and solar plexus. There are also many studies done by psychologists that show how speaking out loud, even if it's to yourself, can boost memory and enhance emotional regulation. I really appreciate my friends who got me into the habit of voice messaging because it really helped me and gave me a boost of courage in my speaking ability. On the receiving end of voice memos, you can also work on your active and compassionate listening. That is also related to clearing of the throat chakra. So this exercise is a win-win. Number 2, related to speaking out loud, but this one is speaking affirmations. You can come up with your own affirmations that feel most authentic to you. I'm sharing my examples from my throat chakra healing video that address the solar plexus heart-throat connection. I will put it on the screen, but I will also read them. The first one is, I honor the sacred purity and clarity within. I speak my truth with clarity, love, and courage. Creativity flows freely through my voice and expression. My words are powerful and they create positive change. So these are just a few examples. You can try them out and repeating them out loud. Number 3, join a public speaking group like Toastmasters or other local meetup groups that involve creative expression like writing, singing, poetry, or crafting groups. Challenging yourself to express yourself in a new group of people can do wonders. I do realize Toastmasters have a membership fee, but alternatively, you can probably find a group in the Clubhouse app, and that's in an online and voice format. The key here is to practice public speaking in front of people. I've seen other people also put themselves out there, like on TikTok or Instagram Reels. The goal here is to practice. Number 4, karaoke. I feel like I can already feel the resistance from you who is watching this in the future. Like, I don't want to sing in front of people. I don't like the sound of my voice. I'm bad at singing. Okay. In that case, sing in the bathroom first. But the next step would be to rent a karaoke booth by yourself and sing out loud. Why? So related to the first three, it's getting comfortable hearing your own voice. And during karaoke, it's even amplified through the microphone. And on top of that, it's getting used to your own voice and your own power, standing in your authenticity. Whether you sound good or not, that is not the point, but a step towards self-acceptance and an expression of your courage. Number 5, easy color therapy with clothing, objects, and crystals. You don't have to redecorate your whole room or go out and buy a lot of things. You may already have these items in your closet. A royal blue or aquamarine or turquoise top, or consider accessories like a pendant, earrings, bracelets. Maybe you already have these beautiful crystals at home or in jewelry like aquamarine, lapis lazuli, turquoise, blue lace agate. Or you can get little tumbler stones, which are fairly inexpensive, and put it on a small crystal grid. And this is just a sampling. There are other crystals that also help open up the throat chakra, but generally these stones are associated with emotional healing, stress reduction, emotional balance, and increased creativity, and to boost the throat and respiratory function. You can wear it as a pendant like this, or place the crystal on the throat during meditation. Alternatively, you can find a photo that you love with these beautiful colors, with the aquamarine color, and save it on your phone background or use it as your computer desktop wallpaper. This is why I call it easy color therapy. Keep it simple and incorporate it into your routine. Number 6, aromatherapy essential oils. Since our nose is part of our throat chakra, it doesn't hurt to enhance our olfactory system with pleasant and healing scents. You can put it in a diffuser with water or easily create your own sprays, as I've done here with a darkened bottle. It's a glass bottle. It's relatively affordable online. Some of these essential oils I already have at home, and you might even have them at home too. How I decide what to add to my formula is similar to my Abhyanga oil process. I Google the properties of each essential oils, and then I use my pendulum to ask my guides whether or not to add it. And this is my formula that I made mine with that I will share. And please keep in mind, you don't need to use all of them, and just include the ones that call out to you and resonate with you. So one, I have lavender, and it has air and water elemental properties to calm anxiety and balance emotion. Peppermint with air element to clear mental fog, move stagnant energy to increase alertness and clarity. And a reminder, air is with the heart chakra. In place of peppermint, you can use eucalyptus to clear congestion for respiratory support and clarity. Next, I have tea tree, which is ether element for the throat chakra for purification, dissolving negative energy. It is also antibacterial, but again, we're not ingesting it. It's just the concept of purifying our space. Geranium is both water and ether, so sacral and throat chakra, which help balances your mood, open up your heart. And I also added a drop of clove. It's all fire. It's all solar plexus, courage, strength, assertiveness. It is warming and activating. And then I have sandalwood with the earth element, and it helps connect with ether or the throat, harmonizing centeredness, balancing the nervous system. Bergamot, which is in the solar plexus again, and heart chakra for healing and clearing emotional heaviness and encouraging joy. I live in Japan, so hinoki, which is Japanese cypress, I use for grounding and tapping into nature's wisdom, restoring inner quiet, support deep breath, and spiritual cleansing. But also regular cypress or Mediterranean cypress works great. Hinoki has more of a water property, whereas the Mediterranean cypress oil has more of a fire energy, which is great for purification, boundaries, and clearing. Again, great for the solar plexus. Next, I put a drop of ylang ylang for uplifting your mood, encourages self-love, release fear, insecurity, and calming the heart rate and any chest tension. So it's great to support the chest and heart chakra area. Next, I have one called vetiver. It's for the root chakra to help anchor your inner child healing, helps with restlessness, insomnia, and feeling safety. Then we have lemon tea tree. It's a great option for the heart and solar plexus. It's a bright citrusy note to purify and clear mental fog and encourage confidence, clarity, and purpose. So what I do is I drop the essential oils into my bottle, and then I fill the bottle with 90% water, filtered water, and then 10% I filled it with witch hazel to help it keep longer. I just shake it, right? And then I just use it as a spray. It smells good. I use it as a room spray, or you can use it on your pillow. If you have pets, please keep it away from them and double check if the essential oils you use is safe for your pet. So this is the gist of these essential oils, and you can look them up on your own and find the winning combo that helps with some of the symptoms of throat chakra blocking. And as you can see, many of them also help with the heart and emotional balance and for clearing, for enhancing clarity for your mind. Even better, you can spray it when you do your affirmations out loud. Number 7, food and nutrients for the throat chakra. Soothing the throat area, keeping it warm and lubricated can help support your throat chakra as well. These are general common sense suggestions like honey, manuka honey water, drinking warm soups and clear broths like chicken soup, bone broth, and herbal teas like peppermint, chamomile, echinacea. Fruits with high antioxidants like blueberries are said to help. Consider consulting a certified nutritionist or perhaps a Ayurveda specialist or TCM expert to help you come up with recipes that best support your immunity as well as low mucus forming foods, which will keep the mucous membranes clear in your respiratory system, like your nose, sinuses, throat, and lungs. And this will help for a better vocal performance and the channels to perform the sounds. These internal or nutritional maintenance strategies won't be too different from a professional voice actor or a singer who might use these maintenance tips to keep up their vocal cords. If you incorporate a few of these tips into your daily routine, I firmly believe it will make overall improvements to clearing and purifying your throat chakra. Let me know in the comments what you think of some of my suggestions and whether you've already tried them. I hope these tips give you a great foundation to start healing your throat chakra. And listen, if you're working through this and realize you'd like some personalized support, I'm here to support you. I do offer one-on-one energy healing sessions where we can work together to identify and release some of these blockages. Sometimes having personal guidance and energetic support can help you break through patterns that feel difficult to shift on your own. If that resonates with you, feel free to reach out. I'd be honored to support you on your healing journey. I've linked all of my sources in the description box, as well as my throat chakra activation video, as well as my activation for inner wisdom and discernment, which is very solar plexus and third eye focus. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.